Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Nir Pandya. A lot of Golden State Warriors fans have questions about the pelvic contusion that Stephen Curry suffered yesterday when he fell to the ground against the Toronto Raptors. Here's a quick breakdown of what this injury actually is, what the treatment principles are, and what some of the general return to play timelines are. Now, the first important thing to understand is the pelvis is a very important structure. It's basically the bony structure that protects the abdominal organs and also serves as the attachment for several muscles that provide stability to the lower extremities or your core. Now, a contusion is actually inflammation or bruising to the soft tissues and or bones in the region of the pelvis. So when an athlete falls, what ends up happening, there can be inflammation, bleeding, bruising in the muscles, or if there's a larger degree of force or if we fall in a particular area, there can be this that occurs in the bone. Now, the first step in working up this injury is to first get an x-ray to make sure there aren't any obvious fractures in the pelvic region. If you're still concerned about a fracture, you want to look at the soft tissues a little bit more closely, then typically a test such as an MRI can be undertaken to look for more soft tissue damage, kind of quantify the degree of injury in that area, and also see if there's any kind of hairline fractures or inflammation in the bone that wasn't necessarily seen on an x-ray. Now, in general, the treatment for pelvic contusions, even if there is quote unquote a hairline fracture somewhere, as long as there's not anything that goes up to the spine or lower down or any kind of significant muscle or tendon damage, typically this is about pain relief and making sure an athlete is comfortable and can perform on the court. In addition, you want to basically protect the area, particularly if it's an area such as the tailbone, from getting repetitive impact if an athlete falls. Now, if you look at March of 2021, Stephen Curry suffered an injury to his tailbone, which was later basically disclosed that it was a fracture, but he missed only a couple of games. If you look at pelvic contusions, as long as there's not a tremendous degree of inflammation or some sort of large fracture that they see on an MRI, typically the return to play can be as simple as a couple of days and missing a couple of games, or it can be a couple of weeks. But in general, barring any kind of fracture or an athlete having tremendous amount of pain, this is not an injury that would last several months or be a several week-long injury that causes 15 to 20 games to be missed. The key is that an MRI basically quantifies and looks at the degree of injury. And then secondarily, you have to get pain under control and make sure an athlete can play comfortably on the court. Anti-inflammatories, physical therapy, and sometimes padding or bracing to help that area stay nice and stable, and ensuring that an athlete is confident to go and play basketball and comfortable with the risk of falling when they're on the court. Thank you.